What's going on, anime fans? Happy Halloween season. While you're getting your spooky cosplays together, I'm gonna bring you the top 5 horror mangas that I think you guys should read. So why manga and not anime? I think that sometimes the horror and the dramatic and the psychological factor is a little bit more prevalent in a manga when you read it. So this is why I want you guys to keep reading, plus reading is fundamental. Number 5 on the list is Pupa. This one I haven't actually read all of yet, so that's why it's at the bottom of the list, but it definitely got my heart racing when I was reading it. The start of this manga kind of deals with a little bit of domestic violence and a weird family situation, but they portray it with these dolls and teddy bears, which is already creepy in itself. Add to this, you have a really disturbing looking demon monster that this little girl turns into, these butterflies as a horror effect. Altogether, this has already started to make the ingredients of a pretty disturbing manga. Number 4 on the list is The Drifting Classroom. This manga is, as you'll see by the art style, pretty old. We're talking about 1970s is when this came out. But the manga is so good and really draws in that survival tactic, but it uses small children as the main character. The main protagonist is a 5th grader who is helping a school full of other 5th graders, 4th graders, 1st graders to survive after their classroom. Their entire school is transported to an apocalyptic future. It's pretty terrible. There's sand surrounding the school and no one can really seem to deal with this, especially the adults. So you have these children dealing with very adult situations, how to survive, how to eat, and then how to fight these monsters that keep coming into their school. But also some of the things they have to fight are like plagues and weather systems and a ton of just these bizarre acts that happen to them on a constant day-to-day basis. They get no break whatsoever. It's a great read because if you like The Walking Dead, you can see how people are trying to survive in a situation that they have no control over, and the people that can and cannot adapt to their new situation. Number 3 is Gyo. Alright, Gyo means fish, and yes, there are a ton of fish in this manga. There's also an anime movie. Don't watch it, it's not necessary. Read this manga. It's way, way, way better. So you might not find fish coming out of the water on these mechanical legs scary, but what if those mechanical legs had a mind of their own and started attacking people as well as fish, animals, anything around? What really drew me into this and had me a little bit nervous about the situation is that it's unavoidable. Any situation that you read in a manga, any horror situation that is kind of unavoidable from an outlying element or source, that's creepy, because if you imagine yourself in this situation, you can't get away from the legs. And they make you look like these big, ugly, bloated things. And I don't know about you guys, but I would be a little bit upset if a pair of legs came up and wanted to use my body as their means of transportation through the air in my body. I mean, come on, that's kind of gross. Number 2 is Uzumaki. Uzumaki means spirals, also by Ito, because he is just the king of horror mangas and stories. So this freaked me out because there were people contorting into spirals. Now, if you just read this, yeah, you've got like a girl's hair is controlled by spirals, but everything that happens throughout this book, even to the very end, there's weather patterns, there are people turning into snails that are then maybe being eaten. There is just a ton of really creepy visuals that goes into this, and a lot of it comes from just people contorting themselves into these beings that they just find to be normal because the spiral is controlling their life. Number 1 on my list is I Am a Hero. You've heard me talk about it before and I'm gonna say it again because I really want you guys to read this. It is such a great manga because Japan does horror unlike Americanized horror. You have this zombie apocalypse that sweeps through a town in Japan, and the main character seems like he's not really all together, but when hits the fan, he is able to make things happen. He stays alive, he keeps the people around him alive, and he deals with a lot of very strange things that are happening in his life with these zombies. Now, the creepiest part about this comes a little bit later in the manga, where the zombies aren't just your normal shuffling around and biting people's necks. They start to morph together to make these amalgamations of zombies, which is actually what almost got me to stop reading because it was such a creepy, all of a sudden act. So you have these not just gory, but these meshed together zombies that are 2 faces, 4 arms, 2 heads, and that in itself is a little bit disturbing. So let me know what you guys found were to be some really scary mangas, or some that are just really disturbing, or some with a really good story with just that horror aspect. So comment down below, let us know on Facebook, Twitter. You can also send us messages on Instagram. We'll probably find some really creepy pictures to put up there for you during Halloween. But just let us know, because we'd love to talk to you about it. And hey, I'd like to find some new ones to read while the sun is out. So this is Little Wren, and I will talk to you guys later.